Regent Purdue.
I have a motion I'd like to make, if it's appropriate at this time. I think our president recommends at this time that we not take action to change the university's accreditation system structure from 3 to 1. And I think that there is also agreement among the chancellors. And I would like to make this motion: the board will cease consideration of a single accreditation until such time as UAF secures its accreditation in 2021 or 2021. The board chooses to actively, if the board chooses to actively consider single accreditation, it will direct the president by formal action to conduct an independent cost-benefit analysis and clearly examine accreditation issues at that time.
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion of the motion.
Mr. Chair?
I'm sorry, who is this? Mary. Regent Hughes, go ahead.
Mary. May I ask the maker a question, please?
Go ahead.
Regent Purdue, does that preclude us going forward as we need to, from a budget perspective, to do the review?
The motion does not address that issue, Regent Hughes. It simply asks for a delay in the, and that the board may choose at a later time to bring up single accreditation and consideration, but at this time we're going to be laying it aside. We have so much to do. We have so much.
It does not preclude. It does not preclude our reviews.
No.
Okay. Thank you.
Regent Hargreaves.
Mr. Chairman, this accreditation thing, in my view, is far more serious than what came out here this morning. I've researched a couple of other states where a similar process was started. One accreditation for multiple campuses. Nowhere did I find that communications increased. Nowhere did I find that it saved money. So I don't know what one accreditation means for the University of Alaska, but I think that accrediting association was nice to us this morning. But I won't, if we don't get ahead of this thing, I'm awfully concerned that there's a bigger hole out there that accreditation agency can take and dump us right into it. To say that we could lose accreditation across the board is a terrible statement. But I wouldn't be surprised to see some things happening in the next 2 to 3 years if this thing continues down the path.
Are you supporting this motion?
Sorry?
Are you supporting the motion?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would ask the maker to amend the motion to include a moratorium on the subcommittee on restructure as well, which was necessitated to look
That would be
at
a separate motion, a separate comment.
Okay, the questions have been called. Brandy, can you call a roll on the motion?
Regent Huber? Yes. Regent Beretta? Yes. Regent Anderson?
No.
Regent Parker?
Yes.
Regent Hughes?
No.
Regent O'Neill?
yes.
Regent Garrett?
Yes.
Regent Hargraves?
Yes.
Regent Purdue?
Yes.
Regent Banya?
Yes.
Regent Davies?
Yes.
9 in favor, 2 opposed.
The motion is adopted. Regent Parker.
Mr. Chair, I would make a motion that based on the input that we have received from our stakeholders, staff, students, faculty, that at this point moving forward, we immediately cancel the Board of Regents Subcommittee on Structure, the Academic Program Review, the administrative consolidation, the virtual town halls, and any scheduled public presentations by President Johnson until we have better delineated a path forward.
I second that.
It's-
Chair, this is
it's,
Dale.
Regent Anderson, go ahead.
I'm going to speak against this motion because it is taking away every tool that we have to meet a budget. We still have $25 million budget to cut to resolve. We're taking away all this program review and you're cutting us off at the knees. We have no tools left. Thank you.
If I might respond, Mr. Chair. Another motion that I will make after this one would be to establish the ad hoc committee as has been recommended by the Arts, Humanities, and Natural and Social Sciences group that would have us prepare a glide path for the next 3 years that would include recommendations about restructuring programs and options for restructuring the entire system. It would also include preparing budget recommendations for fiscal year 21 and 22. I think that's a separate motion, and I wanted to keep it so that they're clean, to keep those separate. So there is another recommendation, so we're not cutting everything out from underneath us.
I would like to ask the chancellors to respond to the question of academic program reviews. I understood at the last meeting that you requested us to give you authority to carry out some of the regular program reviews, and I want to know how if this would encompass that.
Mr. Chair, I guess the question I have is whether the references to the UA-wide program reviews, the 13 or so that are underway currently, I do think, from my perspective, are continuing with the university level program reviews is something we would like to continue doing. And I understand that the board had no objection to us moving forward with that.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yes, I agree. It's part of our regular normal process to review our programs all the time. So I think the language would be expedited programmatic reviews. That's the specific statewide programmatic reviews. That would make it more specific.
And if I might, Mr. Chair, the intent is based on the 13 academic program reviews that are in this expedited process right now.
Thank you. Regent O'Neill.
Mr. Chair, I'm not sure if this is part of what we were going to discuss underneath our emergency board meeting, so I'm not sure if it's in order at this point, but I too have great concern about the motion placed before us. Like Regent Anderson, I do think it's so all-encompassing that it really is limiting our ability and our authority as regents. We do have a fiduciary duty here, and at the same time, I do not want to limit the president or even the chancellors if they want to make presentations in the community. You know, I trust the leadership of this university, and I have and I understand that they're professionals and they will take this conversation and integrate it into all their communications moving forward. So I will have to vote against this motion just because of how all-encompassing it is. And I do think, like Regent Anderson, as I said, it really limits our ability as regents to move forward. And it seems to me that this is a real reaction, and I'm trying to ensure that I'm using good discernment in my role as regent as we move forward in this process. Thank you.
Thank you.
If I might respond. My reaction is based on the reaction that we as regions have received from resolutions from students, staff, and faculty at every single campus that we have within the system, in addition to emails and phone calls from community leaders, in addition to the resolutions, conversations with students, staff, and faculty. So I don't see it as reactionary, but being responsive to the constituents we are supposed to serve.
Chair Davey, this is Regent Banya.
Yeah, Regent Benya, go ahead.
I wanted to express my support for what Regent O'Neill and Regent Anderson have said, only from a slightly different point of view. I think that cutting off any meetings with the public from the key administrators is a mistake. The more contact that we have, the better. So I cannot support this motion myself.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman?
Regent Hughes.
Yes, I'll have to concur with my fellow regents who have spoken against the motion. It's very encompassing, and it, in effect, alters the duties of our president and also abdicates our duties and our fiduciary duties. So I will have to vote against the motion.
Mr. Chairman?
Go ahead.
I had
Regent
a
Hargreaves.
question to the chancellors.
Sure.
If this motion were to pass, is there anything that would prohibit you from doing something you should be doing with your community, your staff, your academic programs, and your community?
This is Dan White. I did not hear in the motion that it limited the chancellor's role in the communities.
You could continue on with your campus as you are, including keeping accreditation up, and thank you.
Yes, I think we all agree. Yes.
Regent.
Can you just restate the motion, please, Randy?
I don't have the motion fully.
It would be immediately canceling the Board of Regents Subcommittee on Structure. Right, and I can forward this to Brandy because I did write this down and would be able to email it to her at a later date. It would be also canceling immediately the statewide academic program review, the canceling of the virtual town hall meetings that are scheduled for 1-hour sessions here later in October. It would cancel the administrative consolidation at this time and any public presentations that are shown in the president's schedule that are in the new UAA, new One University website.
Regent Purdue.
I would support the motion if it were narrower to include suspending the statewide academic reviews at this time until we can consult more fully with the chancellors about our academic planning activities. And I would support that. Otherwise, I will not support the full breadth of the motion.
I would take that as a friendly amendment.
So the motion now is suspending what's the motion now?
Yeah, good question.
It would be to suspend the statewide academic program reviews and cancel the subcommittee on structure, the administrative consolidation, the virtual town halls, and public presentations as outlined in the new One University website. I said and administrative consolidation, yeah.
Regent Purdue.
I'm sorry, I wasn't clear. I would support the motion if the motion were narrower and only included suspending the statewide, not the campus, the statewide academic review process until we have further chance to consult with the chancellors and other stakeholders on the process. Thank you.
And you would not suspend these other things that are underway at this time? Because I think the virtual town halls are built on the statewide academic program review and the administrative consolidation. And if we...
I would not at this time do that. I would allow, common sense to the president and the chancellors to discuss this. And if there is no need for a town hall, then there's no need for a town hall. On the other hand, there might be a need for a town hall on another subject. So I would limit myself. Thank you.
Is that an amendment?
I would propose that amendment to the motion on the floor.
Second.
As I understand it, the amendment would be to reduce the motion to just suspension of the statewide academic program review. Is that correct?
Until such time as we have a chance to consult with the chancellors and the president on a way forward.
Okay. Is there further discussion on the amended motion, on the amendment to the motion? I'm going to rule that the amendment to the motion will carry the main motion.
Mr. Chair, can you just please restate the motion one more time?
Regent Perdue, would you restate the motion, please?
We suspend the statewide academic program review processes until such time as we can get consultation from the chancellors and the president about the way forward. And as I'm saying this, I'm understanding that other stakeholders that we value are going to be involved in that discussion as well. That is the motion, the formal motion is with the chancellors and the president.
Brandy, would you call the roll on the motion, please?
Regent Perdue?
Yes.
Regent Garrett?
Yes.
Regent Banya?
Yes.
Regent O'Neill?
Yes.
Regent Parker? Regent Hargraves? Regent Beretta? Regent Tuber? Regent Anderson?
No.
Regent Hughes?
Yes.
Regent Davies?
Yes.
9 in favor, 1 opposed.
So the motion is adopted. Regent Beretta.
Yes, I would make a motion that the board meet again the last week in October to review the response, the coordinated response to the accrediting agency, and to look at a timeline and plan for a strategy session, look at our governance structure, and hiring a consultant expert in accreditation and a mutual facilitator.
Okay, moved and seconded. Discussion?
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Regent Garrett.
Thank you. Regent Beretta, I support this motion. I just wonder if we can be mindful of our regent's duties that we have coming up the end of the week on Monday, the 28th, Thursday, the 31st, as well as November 1st, the Friday. And perhaps we could look at that Monday morning before we go into our 1 o'clock meetings or the 4 o'clock public testimony.
Thank you. Regent Hargraves.
Mr. Chairman, to the maker of the motion, could you explain the concept behind hiring an accreditation expert?
Just to get,
Purpose?
thank you. The purpose would be to give the Board of Regents insight into other structures, other issues that we may not be considering as far as the issues raised by the letter that was sent to us. Make sure that we have all the information that we need in order to strengthen the university moving forward. I think it was a suggestion by somebody made during our deliberation this morning.
Where would that consultant come from?
It would be somebody that would be recommended, perhaps. I don't know if anybody has insight into that, but that would be the desire.
Well, for example, one example was that Mac Powell from the commission recommended somebody from SHIO, for example, as a possibility. All right, and I don't hear any more discussion. Brandy, could you call the roll on the motion? Oh, I want to make one comment. In preparing the report, I want it to be clear that that we're asking the chancellors to provide their independent responses to us. We're not going to edit those. Thank you. Go ahead.
Regent Banya,
Yes.
Regent Tuber, Regent Hughes,
Yes.
Regent Garrett,
Yes.
Regent O'Neill,
Yes.
Regent Hargraves,
Yes.
Regent Beretta,
Yes.
Regent Purdue,
Yes.
Regent Anderson,
Yes.
Regent Parker,
I think she had to head for a plane.
Regent Davies,
Yes.
9 in favor, none opposed.
Okay, thank you. Is there anything else, any other motions that we want to be? It's moved to adjourn. Randy, we're going to have to just do the other part of the agenda later.
Tomorrow's meeting then?
Yeah. Okay, so motion to adjourn, we're adjourned.